Welcome to Successful Living with Bill Napick. Every week, we talk with interesting people in a variety of professions for ideas to enhance your success in all aspects of life. Successful Living with Bill Napick starts right now. Here's Bill Napick.
Welcome to the show. Here we are, Successful Living with Bill Napick, and today, once again, Successful Living with Jenna Jackson with P&R Creative. I don't want to say much because we have so much to get to, Jenna. It's going to be unbelievable. Once again, entrepreneurs with so many categories. Let's tell people what's going to happen today.
You know I love entrepreneurs, Bill. We've got some really good ones today. I'm super excited. Kind of an array of really cool businesses, really interesting people. Our first up are some really good friends of mine. And they have exciting news today because they are launching a new company. So we're really getting a sneak peek at like some of the first stuff here. It's really good.
Well, let's get started. Right now, we have Corey Hayrelick and Brian Caldwell. Their company is called 4WD. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, welcome. Good morning.
Great to be here. Thanks for having us.
Someone said coffee, huh? And here we are with actually people, if they tune into the YouTube video, they can see a little bit of a coffee sampling going on. But let's tell people about your company.
Sure. We started 4WD Coffee about, really goes back 10 years. But recently we relaunched and we're excited about it. Jenna's been fantastic in helping us. We're glad to be here to tell you about it.
I think the first thing people may want to know, the name 4WD.
Well,
where did that come from?
It's four-wheel drive, you know.
Oh!
Come on.
Come on, Bill.
Okay.
Nah,
okay.
Four-wheel drive. We have a big passion for the outdoors and hard work, and all that kind of relates with the brand.
That's a great name.
So tell us a little bit about, I know this story, but I love it. How did this originally get started? Because you guys have day jobs. This is a passion. It started as just kind of a little passion project, you said 10 years ago, but how did it get going? And then how did you kind of revamp it and decide to go all out and launch 4WD?
Brian is a professional boxing coach. I'm an attorney. And we met through boxing. And the very short story is one of Brian's champion boxers is of Mexican-American descent. His abuela, his grandma, was making this great coffee. And we're like, what is this? So this was about 10 years ago. We found that it wasn't available in the United States, and we decided we needed to try and make it. And that led us to recreate this amazing coffee, which we started sharing with people. And it's that old story of everybody said, wait, you need to sell this and offer it. So we did, and we got in supermarkets. We were successful, but because of our day jobs, we really weren't in a position to support the success we were having. So we left it for a bit, but as we like to joke, coffee wouldn't die. People kept asking us. So 2 years ago, we decided we were in a position to finally revisit it, and we decided if we were going to do it, we wanted to do it right. So that was really the start of what led us to do 4WD Coffee.
That's so awesome. And so Brian, tell us a little bit about modern day 4WD. I mean, you guys really have, as a branding person, you guys have done this right. It's beautiful packaging. You have
I don't want to do this. Here you
5
go.
flavors. Yes. I mean, you really spent a lot of time and thoughtfulness, and we're very intentional about this brand. Talk a little bit about why you guys decided at this point to go all out and really, really do this.
Well, I mean, as far as the branding goes and again, all the hard work that goes into it, Corey and I both have a huge love for the outdoors, fly fishing, hunting, hiking, anything outside. And so we wanted to make sure that we were doing something that we wanted to wake up every day and get after. And so we chose 4WD, and you'll see all our branding are all iconic outdoor places in Texas. And we really just want to promote people to get outside. Coffee being obviously the product, but the message is to us even more important. And that's to really get off your screen for just a moment and actually go do the things you're looking at. Wouldn't that be amazing, right? I have little kids, so I'm really, really hardcore about this. My kids are spending 6 to 8 hours on a screen a day. and that's just in my mind not great. And so anyway, with the coffee, we're able to kind of promote that. We can support conservation. And you know what? We have fun. We get to go to cool places and get content in the mountains and fishing, and it's awesome.
I mean, one of my favorite things is seeing the content you send over for us to put out on social media. Corey, talk to us a little bit about some of the trips, some of your favorite places. I know there's no way to narrow it down because you guys have been everywhere.
Yeah, we do. We like to explore. We take it for granted because we grew up this way. We grew up outdoors. And one of the reasons that we decided on 4WD, and this is going to answer your question, I think, is because so many people ask us about what we do and where we go, and we just take it for granted. And what we realize is there's a community out there of people who relate to it. And part of our decision to go forward was realizing that there's a community of people who want to be a part of that, who want to go outside and enjoy their coffee and do these things. Oh gosh, we everywhere from Montana to Colorado to New Mexico to throughout Texas. There's just so much to see, and that's what inspires us. Country is amazing, but Texas is amazing, and we want to celebrate it. So part of our decision to recognize Texas was just appreciation of this great place we live and encourage people, whether it's go to the park or go to Paladoro Canyon or anywhere. You know, we have great resources right here in Houston. So this really has become a way for us to share with people a lot of these great places, encourage people to go see and get outside. Support conservation, as Brian said, is really important to us. And lastly, a good cup of coffee. There's just... there's a lot of bad coffee out there. And what we found is that people are used to drinking bad coffee. So it became a challenge of ours we know good coffee, and we can offer good coffee easily if people are willing to spend $30 a bag for it. But it became a challenge of ours to do this, to offer it at a price that people could afford, but to not compromise on the quality. And we're really proud of that as much of anything, that this is good coffee.
And I guess, Brian, talk a little bit about we're all, I'm sorry for the listeners, you can't smell this amazing coffee that we're all enjoying right now.
Until they buy some.
Yeah. Until they buy some at 4wdcoffee.com. But tell us a little bit about the different roasts, and you guys can both chime in here. But
sure. We started out, we have 5 blends that we'll be starting with. 2 flavored coffees, the Lajitas, which is what you're drinking today. It's great. It has cinnamon, anise, cloves, a little bit of paloncia and chocolate. We have a pinon flavored coffee with the pinon nut from the Davis Mountains.
It could be malpractice for me to not share some of these.
Yeah, we'll share. And then, of course, we have your traditional black coffees, light, medium, and dark roast. So we just really wanted to have at least something for everybody's palate. Of course, people doctor their coffees up with, all kinds of stuff. But we really wanted to make these drinkable, straight black, Yeah. And I think we did a good job with it.
So how many total blends do you have?
5.
So there's 5 blends. And in fact, right now, if you do tune into the YouTube video, you'll see the bags are coming out of the big bag with the coffee. And once again, the website is
4wdcoffee.com.
4wdcoffee.com. So if you're near the computer, you could check out the blends, the great website. There's so many. And when you go to the website, it does get you into that outdoor mode and mood. Good. And to me, it's great to have a cup of coffee outdoors, especially in the cooler weather. But the beauty of coffee is we can drink it anywhere.
And talk to us. One of the things that I love, again, is that you guys were so, everything you do is really around your mission and the message that you want to get out there. Tell us a little bit about your branding team. It's not me, so I'm not self-promoting, but they're amazingly talented. And talk to us a little bit about the process, because each of these bags is a piece of art.
Beautiful, yes.
Yeah, and they were all handmade specifically for you guys, right?
Yes.
I love that thoughtfulness.
Field of Study are the group out of Houston who helped us with it. We go back a long ways with them. They worked with Brian and the boxing gym, Baby Bull Boxing Gym, also here in Houston. And we reached out to them because they're so good and they've done such, they're so talented that we told them what we wanted to do. And like they always do, they just captured us for it. We hired an illustrator, so all of our artwork here is original. And just like everything with the coat, we wanted it to be authentic. We do have day jobs, so the only reason we're doing this is to do something that's meaningful to us. And we wanted to capture Texas in a way that was meaningful to people in the state. For instance, this is the Palo Duro and Big Bend area, Texas coast. But we also wanted something that folks in other parts of the country could relate to.
And where do they buy the coffee? Online, or are they where else? Anywhere else?
Yes, online right now. It is also going to be at Gordy and Sons Fly Fishing and Gun Shop pretty soon, and I think at Federal Grill as well.
No kidding. Many roads lead to the
All
Federal.
roads lead to
We
Federal.
love that.
Bill.
Matt's a great guy.
But once again, no doubt about it, people, you really need to taste this coffee. We're enjoying it right now. Simply go to 4wdcoffee.com, get a couple bags. Oh, yeah, Christmas gifts.
Great Christmas gift.
Exactly. They've got some really good swag, too, for Christmas
We
gifts.
do. We have a
What else is
great
in that bag
holiday
there, guys? Yeah.
bag coming out soon.
Yes, very exciting. Talk a little bit about that. I think we have like a minute left.
We got about a minute left. Go ahead.
What about the holiday bag? I'm excited.
Well, our illustrator knocked out of the park. I mean, he did a great job. So we should have that next week or so, and we have to recognize Federal and Matt Bryce, who we know has been here a number of times. Matt's been great. He's a really big supporter. He's been involved in helping us, and a lot of credit to him for everything he's done for us.
So yet one more reason to go to Federal Grill, Bill. Not that
Absolutely.
we need it. Cheeseburger,
I
egg
was there
rolls,
the other
and
day.
4WD coffee. I mean,
So many
what
things.
could be better?
So before we close the segment, what else should we know? Again, the website is 4wdcoffee.com.
Yep.
Get a few bags. Anything else, guys?
Don't think about it. Just try it.
There you go.
You'll be
Outdoors
hooked.
or indoors, Corey Hayrelick and Brian Caldwell, 4WD Coffee. Guys, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thanks
for
guys.
having us. We appreciate it.
This is so exciting, Jenna. As we continue, it's now time to talk to Paul Willis. His company's called Pet Barber. Paul, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I very much appreciate it.
You know, we have a lot of listeners. Many of them are dogs all around, not just Houston, but sometimes far beyond, right, Jenna?
Yeah, exactly. And I can say from personal experience, this is how I met Paul, because my golden doodle, who's the sweetest member of our family, goes to Pet Barber regularly. One of the locations.
Well, I just missed the Pet Barber boat because my dog went somewhere else, but now she's going to go to the Pet Barber.
Not no mo.
Not no more. So tails are wagging all over the listening area. So, Paul, let's tell people about your company.
All right. Well, listen, I've been working with dogs for 25 years now. It's been a passion of mine. I grew up as a little boy just loving dogs. And I didn't have one as a little kid, but the lady down the street and around the corner from me raised Newfoundlands. And when she would have puppies in the spring, and she was really big into it. She was very well known apparently because she was on she would be in the Thanksgiving Day parade with her Newfoundlands and stuff like that. So anyway, I would always go down and just talk. And as a little kid, I love these dogs. And I begged my parents for a dog. And my mother was always on this thing about how she was allergic to dogs and we couldn't have one. So one day when I was in 5th grade, my reading teacher in 5th grade, was talking about how she just had this baby and it was allergic to this beloved golden retriever that they have, and that they needed to find a good new home for him. And I raised my hand. And I was like, we want a dog. And she was like, oh, that's great. I'll talk to your parents. And I totally convinced my parents into getting this dog. And I don't know why I'm getting all emotional about it, but he became the best dog ever. And ever since then, it was that was it.
What was his name?
His name was Achilles.
Aw.
Yeah. And we only had him for I think 3 years because he died of cancer, but he was awesome. And then after that, we got more dogs and we did rescue. We used to do pit bull rescue. I would literally steal dogs when I was 17 years old from people that were into dog fighting
Oh, wow.
into the Syracuse, New York area.
So they had that up there.
Oh, yeah, big time. I
That's a
think
shame.
it goes on in a lot of places, but I had some friends that were a little on the shadier side, and I found out about where some of these places were. And one of the rescues that I'm most happy about is a female pit bull that she was chained up on the side of a fence that left her to die, who had lost a dog fight, and I stole her at like 2:00 in the morning with bolt cutters, and
Nice.
took her to the vet the next morning, and they suggested putting her down, and we said no, and she became like the best dog ever.
She was probably so loyal.
Oh,
'cause
she was amazing,
yeah.
smart,
Saved
loving.
your life.
She was awesome, and my parents like loved her to death, and she was just everything. But they pass away, So
I do.
after that, I knew that I wanted to make money when I got older.
Well,
so I was
you
all
kinda
about
had
like
to also.
no,
Don't
yeah.
we
I've
all?
got to
Yeah.
pay the rent, but
Yeah, we need some
I
money.
grew up in a less than middle class area. My parents were hardworking, a lot of kids, great morals, but we didn't have a lot of money. And hey, whatever. So I had friends that I went to high school with that their parents lived on the other side over by the lake, and they had all these things and money and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, so I need to go into finance and do these things. And I started to go that route, but you couldn't get me to sit in front of a computer to save my life. So
Let's tell people, I'm sure they're curious right now. And
Yeah.
as soon as you say this, I have something to add. What is your website where people can learn about your company and the services and locations? It is
so it's thepetbarber.com.
thepetbarber.com. And
Yep.
in my world, all dogs are great.
Yeah.
But the one that you have, the first picture that comes up, who is that beautiful dog? Oh,
So-
my God. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
That very,
yeah.
Jenna, did
Yeah,
you
it was
see
a-
that?
It was
Yes.
a. It was
What is that? That is so
He's a
captivating.
pit bull, and I wanted to stay true to the, to the,
beautiful.
of off the rescue, because look, they get a bad rap. We have them that come in. We have a lot of clients that have had them as rescues, and they come in. They're great dogs. They play extremely well in daycare, and
Wow.
they're very loving and loyal dogs. So
The
we had a puppy
photograph,
come in
the
one
picture,
time, and
the colors.
we got a picture of it, and we wanted to use it for our website. It's not my dog. It was a client's. It's grown now.
What's the name of the dog, by the way?
I don't know, to be
That
honest
is,
with you.
people go to the website.
I don't know.
thepetbarber.com.
Bill's
that may
gonna
sound horrible,
Make that
but-
puppy a star.
I mean, I don't want my dogs to be jealous. They're
Yeah.
listening. I know that. But this dog is really something.
Yeah.
And some dogs are just super photogenic.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Take just any dog. Yeah, they're so photogenic.
we
They are.
have some really great photogenic dogs. There's actually the lady who runs my daycare. Her name is Cheyenne, and she's wonderful. She's full of tons of life and upbeat, and just I think she's found her spot, And her dog Loki, he's like he models all of our like bandanas and stuff that we do
Aw.
for the seasons and all kinds of stuff. And he's on a lot of our social media because Loki is like, he wants his picture taken. He wants to like be
The
there.
ham.
And, and he's a great
That's
dog.
awesome.
And, he gets to be at work every day. That's another, bonus. So, yeah.
So so you were gonna make money.
Yep.
And going into finance, and
Yeah.
then where did you turn and say, no, I've got to follow my passion?
Just was like kind of lost, like any 19-year-old. Didn't know what I wanted to do. And my mom was like, you need to go to school for dog grooming. Because I was working at a grooming shop, and I worked for this lady, and she ran this little grooming shop, and I bathed dogs, and I would help like prep them and rough them in. And it just so happened, not too far away, a little over 3 hours away, down in New York City, was the #1 dog grooming school in the world. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, so
like the Michelin star of
yeah,
dog
yeah.
grooming schools.
So
The theme today.
there you go.
I signed up for it, and I went to New York City all by my lonesome, and I said if I was going to do it, I was going to be the best. So I ended up graduating #1 in the class, and there was this thing where they had, like, on graduation day, like, all these people that wanted to take the recruits and everything. So I ended up going to work for a woman who was a professional handler of terriers. And I got, like, really immersed into, like, professional dog grooming. And that even helped my skill even more. And I just always had this passion. Like, if I was going to do something, I'm just going to be the best at what I do. And that's kind of where it's come from. And then when I moved down to Houston, there was a lack there of really good dog grooming. In New York City, it was pretty abundant because you had to go to school, you had to actually learn. And in Texas, there was they're considered property down here, animals. Like your lamp in your house. That's how it's judged. So you could just hey, I'm going to be a dog groomer and start a business. You didn't have to have any licensing or anything like that. And the unfortunate part about it was when I came down here, it was just basically take a pair of clippers and shave a dog down. And there was no real style to it. There was no anything. So I was like, wow. And I started working for places, and I got a really good name for myself, and I built up clients and things like that. And then other places would want me to come work for them. And at the end of the day, you're still working for owners, and they had all their own ideas. And as much as I wanted it to be mine, it wasn't mine. And then one day I was really fortunate enough where I was in a position where I'd saved some money because I had worked really hard. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this on my own. And we were thinking of names, and I was like, I want to keep it classic, old school. Just, I'm a guy. I'm a straight guy. I've got a wife and kids. And no, I mean, that's a thing. Yeah. It's not really well known in the dog grooming industry. And I was like, you know what? I'm a barber, but I'm talented at what I do. And back up in New York, barbers were really talented at what they did.
Let's tell people, as they're listening, I'm sure people are thinking, hey, I want to try the Pet Barber. Tell them about your locations, Paul, where they are, and if people want to get their grooming needs right there.
Yeah, we have 3 locations right now,
and
there's going to be more to come. We can't just open locations because we have to find the right people. The one thing about the Pet Barber is I believe in our work must stand above everybody else's. So my groomers, when they come in, they already have experience, but then they groom next to me for a month or so on, and they have to become a certain grade of a groomer and be able to know all different cuts and really be able to focus on it. And their customer service has to be well, and they can't have all kinds of other baggage problems. And it's taken years to do that, but because we've been able to do that, we've been able to build a very good staff, and we now have 16 amazing groomers. And my locations are in Memorial Spring Branch, which is at 1022 Wirt Road, right off I-10 and Chimney Rock exit. I've got another location in River Oaks, which is right next to the Briar Club, right on Westheimer, which is a fantastic location right down the street from Central Market. And then we have our Montrose location, which is at 1417 Richmond Avenue, right a little past Dunleavy and Richmond. Yep.
That's awesome. I will say, Bill, I mean, when I walk in, the key to any successful business, right, is customer service.
Yeah.
And you just talked about your amazing groomers and the training. And my dog, Hilly, I bring her in, and she always has the same groomer. They always know exactly what you want. They're so lovely. I mean, it's very much like a concierge service for your pet, which I think, regardless of whatever the laws of the state are, most of us think of our pet as family, right?
Of course, 100%.
So we want to take good care of them. So this is such a great business.
Yeah, that was my whole thing. That I just want people to know out there that your dogs, when they're in our shops, my staff are all huge pet lovers. They have to be. I myself want to make sure I strictly have this whole rule about you need to make sure that you treat all the animals in here like they were your own. These are people's children. They're their family members. And we take great care and great pride in what we do. And I know that's what, not only that, and our grooming puts us above pretty much everybody else in the area. And that's why we've been successful at, building the business and keeping it to what we've want. I've had plenty of investors that have come in and they've been like, hey, this is a great thing. Let's go. Let's do a bunch of franchises, like other franchises that are out there now. And it always comes down to, I can't build franchises that quick because it has to stay this quality.
Yeah.
And once you build a franchise in a service like pet grooming, you can't keep that same quality.
Yeah.
You just can't. It's impossible to do. So this will be something that we'll build, and it will build over time, and it will have the same quality, and that's what has set our company up, and that's what we'll keep moving forward with.
That's awesome.
He is Paul Willis, the owner of the Pet Barber. One last word, Paul, before we close the segment.
I just want to thank you, Bill, for the opportunity to speak. I know that I'm a talker, and I can sometimes get all into this kind of stuff.
No apologies for that on the talk
We
radio
love
show.
it.
Yeah.
That's right.
And we thank Jenna for bringing you on.
I would love for people to come in if you haven't and give us a try. I promise that your dogs are going to look amazing. Our grooming is phenomenal. We've gotten awards. We've been in all kinds of things. And just our clients alone, it's the word of mouth that is what's really helped us out.
And how can people reach you? Once again, the website and phone number?
Yeah, the phone number is 713-393-7181. That's going to get you to our main line, but we have rollover phones, so it can pick up all the locations. And it's the petbarber.com in Houston, or I think it's the petbarberhouston.com is actually what it is. And, you can book appointments and everything and get what you need to get from there.
There you go. Once again, all over the city, the tails are wagging. Thanks for being with us, Paul.
Thank you.
Petbarber.com.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, Paul.
At P&R Creative, your story is our motivation. We want to tell your story in a way that resonates with your target market, whether that be your employees, your investors, potential customers, or a global television and film audience. We get to know your company, your customers, your employees, your goals, and then we put together a detailed plan that maximizes what you do well and plans for improvement where you may need it. We weave together all the pieces of your story to provide consistency across marketing, communications, branding, ESG, and video storytelling. Reach out to us through our website, prcreativegroup.com. That's prcreativegroup.com, or call us at 832-553-6208. 832-553-6208. Reach out to us. Oh, the weather outside is frightful. It might be time to put on a fur, Jenna. I'm just saying.
It's my favorite time of year.
Remember that song?
I have a closet full of furs.
Well, JR is here. Let's tell people about JR.
JR, thank you for coming on the show. I feel like everyone in Houston probably knows the name Sakowitz Furs, and it is definitely time to pop in and get yourself a new fur, right? Tell us a little bit about yourself and Sakowitz.
So, Sakowitz, of course, everyone remembers the old department stores. We were their fur department before they closed shop, and we didn't want to close when they did, so we opened up our own brick and mortar here, and we have our own website, and it's a small family business. My father started it back in '86, and I've been running it for the past 15 years. We just love what we do. We have beautiful products, and our clients become friends, and we like to take care of them. So in our shop, we offer cold storage services over the summer months. We do all full service. So if you have an old mink coat or something that your mom may have inherited, we can restyle it, recut it into something new, breathe some new life into it. We do a lot of restyle work, upcycling older coats into, new items. We even do pillows, blankets, gun holsters, gun bags. We've done all sorts of fun stuff.
Wow, very
fun. Now, did you do the guitars there, ZZ Top, those fur guitars that
I wish I had. I just
saw a video where they brought the fur guitars out.
But
JR, let's tell people as they're thinking, I went to your website. Let's tell them the website.
Absolutely. It's sakowitzfurs.net. So that's SAKOWITZFURS.net.
And one of the things I gathered from the site, when people think of furs, well, they think of a jacket of sorts. Yes, you have those coverings like that, but it's interesting the range of things you have, from little accessories to the full-blown fur coat, and at whatever length, right?
Absolutely. And that's, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is the collection that we, procure. We have things that are so unique and so different, and especially catering to a Houston market where you want something that you can dress down, or something lighter weight, something that's, one of our more popular items is sheared mink jackets, reversible to raincoat. So you have something that you can really dress down and really just enjoy, a good quality piece. You'll have some, other feathered pieces and lightweight things that are easy to wear in Houston. You'll have fashion pieces that are really bright pops of color and something you can really accessorize. But then we also have some really sleek and subtle pieces that are just, everyday luxury for, bouncing around town. I mean, my wife wears hers she's got a sheer mink jacket she wears with yoga pants and gym shoes just to run errands. And, then we'll also have...
That's my kind of style.
Right. Well, and, no matter where you live, you still need a good coat. And what I preach is, you want a good quality piece that's going to last a long time and really serve you well. And, not something that's, one season and then you throw it out.
Right. Well, and yeah, you were saying, this is really interesting to me. You were saying, you can repurpose older furs, sort of classic furs. I have several furs that I've gotten from my grandmother, which
Sure.
are really special to me, right? So that's why you want to have a quality piece. Like
Exactly.
it's worth going somewhere like Sakowitz and really getting a nice piece so that you can pass it down.
Absolutely. And it's, and just you can feel the difference in quality. You'll enjoy the coat a lot more. And yeah, they last a long time. And we've had 3rd-generation coats come in for restyles. I have a full crew in the back room that have been doing this for over 50 years. We just have a really great group that would love to take care of you.
That's awesome.
And many Houstonians, we think about wearing, right now it's a cool day. You can put a fur on, a nice jacket. But also many Houstonians, if not maybe 50, 60, 70%, go to colder places too. Like we could take
Very
that
true.
jacket when we go to our home in Colorado or wherever, New York, and these places.
Exactly. Especially for the holidays, but year round, right? I feel like
Yeah.
the biggest contingency of people who visit Colorado are from Texas.
I agree with you. But also, a lot of like you said, they travel everywhere. This is a big international city. They come from all over for different reasons. And, believe it or not, my prices usually beat the places they travel to because we're in Houston. But I still deal with all the top designers. I still sell Michael Kors, Andrew Rhodes, Zach Pose, and all those as well as my own merchandise. But, it's something that I have to be more competitive because of our city.
Right.
So I can usually give you the coat of your dreams for a price that's a dream come true. I mean, it's just, especially being a family business and I can watch it and monitor exactly what's going on, I can offer you a lot more value and a lot better prices that you're going to find anywhere else.
So it's a family business. You said your dad started it.
Right. My father started back in '86.
And
on his
growing
own.
up, were you kind of around it all the time?
All the time.
Did you think that you would do this, or as a kid were you like, oh, get me out of the furs, or
No.
like did you always love it?
I always kind of loved it. I did. Dad used to bring me to work to, start out wrapping boxes, and then I moved on to working in the back room and learning how to clean coats and service them, and just kind of was brought up in the business. So,
Give us an idea, JR. We're talking with JR Grown Hour, Sakowitz Furs right here in Houston, Texas. As far as the most popular couple items, if people look at the website and we pique their curiosity, we hope they go there. What are some of the most popular things right now? And it's, of course, gift-giving time.
Absolutely.
It's a great, unique gift.
All
Yeah.
husbands should be paying attention right now.
they should. So, if you don't have a ranch mink coat or a ranch mink jacket, that's the little black dress, right? Every woman should have one in the closet. I would go there first. Fur vests have been a huge item for me. It's a lightweight, easy way to incorporate some fur into your fashion. And I do a lot of cashmere capes with fox trim. And new this year, we've also included purses, bags, and now we have jewelry. So we're really exploring, all the gift giving this year.
Wow. Okay. So you guys have expanded into jewelry as well.
We have. We're
Talk
dipping
to
our
us a
toe in
little
the
bit about
water.
that.
Well, I've partnered with some great people. We have a designer named Vespucci who does new stuff, and we've also invested in some estate jewelry and things like that, just to have a unique collection. We, like I said before, we really pride ourselves on having some really beautiful items that at a great price point that are perfect for gift giving, but also just something to add to your collection. And it's something that we have fun doing. That's making people happy.
That's the key, right?
Right.
So where are you located in Houston?
Our brick and mortar is at the corner of Post Oak and San Felipe. We're in between Whole Foods and North Italia restaurant.
Oh, wow. Great location.
Mm-hmm. Really easy to get to, easy parking and valet. And you'll find me there most days. You can ask for JR when you come in.
Ask for JR right there. In fact, I believe you were there since the beginning of that shopping center.
Yes,
or that
we were.
whole complex.
Yep. That was.
I've been watching there, JR. Yeah. I used to live nearby, so I was over there all the time.
Awesome.
So as far one of the other things, I want to go back to those accessories.
Mm-hmm.
The accessories, when I looked at the website and saw the array and the different things, I found that very interesting, and also once again, great gifts to get.
And exactly, we have stuff that starts at price point as low as $60, and then we go all the way up to our really high priced items, but. You'll find some really fun gift-giving stuff, whether it's fur trim gloves, headbands, even keychains. We have little beanies
Keychains.
with fun designs on them. Just something you won't see anywhere else in town.
All right, I got to ask this question, and I've thought about this when I'd walk by your store, maybe like in August, July.
Mm-hmm.
So what does a furrier do? Your business, you're called a furrier.
Right.
Is that correct? So what does a furrier do in July, June in Houston, Texas?
So that's where the service comes into
You've
play.
never been asked that question before, I bet, right?
Well, and it's one of the reasons we started carrying jewelry is just to, that's a non-seasonal item. But what we normally do all summer long is repurpose and restyle coats. It's while we have the time to really work on it and perfect each piece, we can disassemble an old piece and completely repattern it and remake it into something completely new. So if you had, grandmother's hand-me-down coat and you wanted to update the style, I can completely disassemble it and repattern it and put it into something that would be something you'd want to wear on a daily basis, and it's sentimental also.
That's so cool.
And I've had sons that bring in grandma's coat, and they're like, "Look, this is a female coat. What am I going to do with it?" And I said, "Well,
Let's make it a
throw blanket. Let's make it a pillow." Or I've done rifle bags. I've done all sorts of fun stuff. If you can think it up, I can do it.
So that's the other thing. So you're like, except with furs, you're like here in Houston, we have many custom boot places. So
Right.
you're the custom furrier.
I'm the custom furrier. I've even done boot toppers, universal boot toppers. You take some fur and put them on a little stocking that cuffs over the top of a boot. Like I said, we've had all sorts of fun stuff to try and do. We've even done, kids apparel and dog fur coats. We've done everything.
So give us an idea before we close the segment, anything else you want us to know. But one thing I would ask is, what do we not know about your profession that would be interesting for people to know? Because it's a unique profession.
Well, it is, and there's a lot of artistry to it. I think what people don't realize is when they think of furs, they imagine, an older version, of glamour.
1950.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They think of grandma's coat. They think of the golden era of movies. They don't necessarily realize that a lot of what they are seeing on a day-to-day basis is fur. They're just not recognizing it because it's such a different style and such a unique piece. If you want a good quality coat that's going to last a long time and look really great, invest in a good quality product. And it's going to be something that you won't necessarily realize you've seen, but it's everyone's wearing it.
And once again, let's tell people how they can reach you. They're interested in a gift. They want to stop by.
Please come by. We're on the corner of Post Oak and San Felipe. You can go to our website at sakowitzfurs.net or call us on the phone, 713-622-7947.
Awesome.
J.R. Gronauer. Thanks for being with us, J.R.
Oh, thank you
Yes,
for having me.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
As we continue, boy, what a show, Jenna. Here we are, so many categories of interest. Now, photography.
Yes.
It's the season for photography all year, especially now. We have Hallie Keller Photography. Hallie, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. Bill, Hallie is an incredible photographer.
I saw her work on the website.
It's beautiful, and we'll let her talk about all the different variations of what she does, but I will just say I am not a good picture taker, and she made me look fabulous, so I use it on everything now.
Well, let's tell people, Hallie, about your company. And let's start with the website. As far as pictures go, people may want to just go right to it. Let's tell them the website.
HallieKeller.com. HallieKeller.
Yeah, so while they listen, they can look at the website.
Yes.
But tell us about your company. You're right here in Houston. And
Yes, and actually I'm getting a new website soon, so keep posted for that. But so I've been doing photography for about 20 years. I caught the bug with my first daughter was born. First child was born. Like a lot of female photographers do, they catch the bug with their children. But that morphed into a career of it. So I've been doing that for over 15 years or so. Had a studio in Memorial since May of 2020. And that has been a huge blessing and just a haven for everything. Just it's been really amazing to have that studio. So,
Talk a little bit about some of the different types of photography you do. Like if I want to book a session, what does that look like? What kinds of things are you doing?
I do
there?
family photography, I do senior portraits, do a lot of headshots. My biggest thing right now is female photography branding and branding photography. basically lots of female business owners come in, and we just go to town. We have so much fun. That's really where my passion lies, actually, with taking pictures of females that are business owners, pretty much. And even they don't have to be full-fledged business owners. They could be in the process of trying to start something, or just they have a dream that they want to achieve. And so the content for what they want to do, and
you help bring it to life.
Basically, I have so much fun doing what I'm doing right now.
That's so good.
Yes,
well, and
yes.
Bill, we talk all the time about, everybody has a brand, whether you have a business or not, right? It's your personal brand, everything you do, everything you put out there. And in this world of social media, you for sure have a brand.
Absolutely.
So that's so cool that you're helping people really build that visually in a way that, will resonate.
Yes, and I do headshots for males as well, and other groups, but mostly females right now.
Well, what strikes me is, Jenna, on this show, on your special editions, we've had our share of female entrepreneurs.
Right.
Hallie should be our show photographer.
So
or
I
have
feel like
that
this
pipeline.
is a really nice fit
Exactly.
here.
I mean,
basically the things that I love are the same.
Yeah.
Things that you love. So.
No, for sure. And that's how we met, because through our mutual friend, Lara Bell, who is the publisher of Swoon Magazine. She's been on the show. I was doing something in her magazine, needed
So I
some
shot the
fabulous
cover of
photos. Yes.
The Girl Boss issue.
Yeah.
That was really fun. Actually, got to meet all of those wonderful ladies that came in.
Give us an idea as far as when we talk about professional photography, and you just mentioned, take your example, a magazine cover. And a lot of us like photography as a hobby and so forth, like myself. But when you're doing it for a magazine like that, what kind of camera are you using, or what's the technology to have such resolution and have such a beautiful picture? I mean, so much goes into it, right, Hallie?
Sure.
But give us
of
just a
course.
feel for it, a little sampling.
My parents were both hobbyist photographers growing up, so I was around it a lot. And they were Nikon users. So I actually grew up using Nikon my whole life. But just recently I've switched over to Fuji. So that was kind of a huge...
The Fuji camera.
Yeah, Fuji.
Do they still invite you to Thanksgiving? Or?
It's like,
That's a whole thing,
it's kind
right?
of a big deal.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
It is a big deal, yeah. So actually I love my whole system that I've been using. So, I mean, all the cameras are high res right now, but...
And when we say,
when
you say high resolution, do we go by megapixels, or is that just the amateurs do that?
And don't ask me too many numbers right now.
But it's a lot of megapixels, we'll just say.
Ton of megapixels. Right, but I think a lot of it has to do with the lighting, mostly.
Lighting's
It's all
huge,
about
right?
Lighting, so. And then, I mean, it has to do with the photo taker, so.
And what kind of different backgrounds can you do? Like when I think studio, sometimes I'm like, well, I don't want it to look too like stiff or whatever, but you're really good at getting like natural feel, and your personality comes through in these photos.
You. So I always say that I've been in the business of making people feel comfortable for 15 years or something, because I really do feel like that has a huge impact on how the photo turns out. If someone's uncomfortable, you can pretty much tell. So I don't know. I think that's one of my gifts, I guess, just being able to make people feel comfortable. And it is amazing. People come into my studio and they'll sit on my couch for like 2 hours and just talk.
You're like, okay, bye.
No, in a good way. I've had women come and it's like a therapy couch kind of. So
yeah, it is.
I do feel like my adorable little studio is just super comfortable, and the whole feel of it lends itself to people coming in and being relaxed and taking some of the best pictures that they've probably ever taken. So it is wonderful.
So cool.
Yeah.
And so right now, like you said, Bill, I mean, it's holiday time. Everyone needs a family photo, a Christmas card photo, a New Year's photo.
Right.
I mean,
So I have done a lot of outdoor family photos in the past, but just recently been doing indoor studio shots. So that's kind of fun and fresh. And I know it doesn't sound fresh, but it sounds like it could be old school or old fashioned, but somehow we just make it work, and they're all amazing and fun, fresh photos. So, and you were talking about backdrops. We have several backdrops that we use, all different colors and things. But
So lots of variety.
I like my classic grays. And
I'm thinking also, it's giving time and family time, the gathering, maybe photograph of people that are visiting that aren't around a lot. However, I'm also thinking it's a planning time of the year. It's a time of reflection, a time of planning, and those of us in the business world might, hey, we want to get better new pictures for 2020. We want a new headshot,
It's
right,
definitely
Hallie?
that
You're
time.
doing some of that, I guess.
yes, absolutely.
And then, there's only 40,000 realtors in Houston, give or take.
No kidding. That's
And a
quite
good
the-
percentage of them are active. So there's a lot of people with just licenses, but a lot of them are wanting a good headshot. So the realtor
Right.
friends of ours that are listening,
Absolutely. So January is usually like a new year, new you.
there
kind
you
of a
go.
theme. And so we get a lot of realtors in there trying to freshen up their content. And
So speaking of that, is there a
Yes.
time of year that you're more busy than others? Is it now, or are you kind of
Actually,
steady Eddie all the way?
I think in general, photographers are usually busiest in the fall, but with headshots and branding photography, that's really a year-round business, which is great for me. So yeah, we do a
So
lot.
your main thing is our people,
Yeah,
right? Taking
absolutely.
pictures of people. What about pets?
Yes, we do lots of families with their animals.
Okay.
For sure. I think all of these categories of the people you had on today, I was like, oh,
They
Yeah,
all
yeah,
need their
they-
photo taken.
Branding
all
for
Every
the
time,
pets.
on the bag of coffee, on everything else, there's a picture.
And then I also
Exactly.
did a big 40 over, well, it's fabulous over 40 campaign, and a lot of those women had their furs on, their minks on. So I was like, I have
All
things in
time.
common
Well, see,
with all
that
of these.
photography applies to everything.
Yes,
It really
For
does.
sure.
Well, it's all about capturing moments and sort of the beauty and subjects where they are in life, right? So
right.
that's
So
such
that
a cool piece.
is a big part of what I'm doing now. Is since I am getting older, I have a
You
big
and me
birthday,
both, sister.
big birthday coming up. I've been celebrating women aging gracefully and women in general. But anyway, so I've been doing a campaign that is Fabulous Over 40. We just finished the 2022 campaign, but we are recruiting for 2023. So
Question, speaking of
Looking forward to that.
2023, how are you planning in your business for 2023? As we look ahead, are there things you're going to be doing next year that maybe you didn't do before
absolutely.
as you plan?
So there's a Generations campaign that will be kind of starting in January and then culminating in Mother's Day kind of. So it'd be like a good Mother's Day gift. For
Man, now
instance,
we're
so it'd be
Mother's
like,
Day, everything's coming
a
at us.
grandmother and a mother and a daughter or something that variety. I lost my mom when I wasn't that young, but anyway, lost my mother. Didn't have a lot of good photos of her. Didn't have a lot of good photos of me with her. So that's one of my passions, is to make sure that doesn't happen to other people, that they always have a good photo that they can leave with their children, or a good photo of them with their mom or whatever. So
That's a
it's a big
great
deal.
idea. That's very cool. So when are you kicking that off? Sort of the new year?
January,
Yeah.
yes, we'll be campaigning for that, and then we'll be doing the Fabulous Over 40 campaign again, which was a really huge success. Actually, we just ended that this last couple weeks ago.
And there's some really
huge.
beautiful photos. I may have been looking at last year's because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this year's are out yet, but they were really beautiful, the ones that I saw.
Thank
So,
you. It was
Yeah.
an amazing project.
Yeah. Very cool ladies.
Well, as we close this segment, the time is flying. Hallie, what else do you want people to know? And let's tell them how to reach you once again.
Sure. My phone number, or our phone number, is 713-244-4808. Our phone number is 713-244-4808. And the website that is going to be coming up soon is HallieKeller.com. And I have a wonderful studio in Memorial, right at 13120 Memorial Drive. Everybody needs a new headshot for the year. So.
Everybody.
HallieKeller.com. And the other thing that strikes me is this is 2023 almost. When you talked about pictures of mothers in years gone by, there were times in our lifetimes where photography wasn't that good. Now, I don't know if we're at the pinnacle of technology where pictures are like super awesome, but get your pictures now. Again, the website is,
HallieKeller.com.
and thank you for being with us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Hallie.
Thank you.
Well, as we wind up the show, let's remind people, Jenna, your company is P&R Creative, right? You're helping people tell their story
Yes.
in a
it's
tremendous
my
way.
passion. I love it. So
The website is?
Yep. If you need our help telling your story, social media, branding, PR, it's prcreativegroup.com. prcreativegroup.com.
And now he's back. The pet barber. That's where I'm going, not for my haircut, but for Callie when it's her time in a couple weeks. Paul Willis. Paul, before we close out the show, what else do you want people to know about the pet barber? Again, the tails are wagging.
Well, first I want to say we're excited about meeting Callie.
I'm telling her she's
Clearly.
listening to the show right now.
Okay.
She's coming over.
All right. So, yeah, it's the petbarberhouston.com. That's our website. Again, you can get online, check us out, and call 713-393-7181. And, I just invite everybody to really give us a try if you haven't. If you're looking for something or you're a little off at your regular groomer or something's not right, you're not getting the right people, my employees stick around. Most of my employees, since we started in 2014, I still have probably, 40-50% of my original people, and then all my other groomers that have been on have been with us for years. So they love their job, and they're really good at it, and they're going to be there, and you'll be able to come to a really great place that's going to take care of you.
They are there for you at the Pet Barber, petbarber.com.
Yep.
Petbarberhouston.com.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Petbarberhouston.com. Petbarberhouston.com.
Awesome.
There it is.
All right.
He's
Thank
back.
you, Paul.
JR, grown hour with Sakowitz Furs. Hey, JR, before we close things down here, 'tis the season.
Tis the season is right, and we are having a big sale. That's what I forgot to mention earlier. Right now we're doing designer first sale. You can save 50 to 70% off. Come in the store right away. And you'll find a coat that you're going to love or a vest or an accessory.
Sakowitz Furs right there on Post Oak. One of the other great things about getting in the season, when you go to Post Oak, any of the establishments this time of year, the decorations are knocked out, right, JR?
They are. We got to put ours up in store. But yeah, all Post Oak's already got the trees up, and it's
So pretty.
about to be lit up.
A
Yes.
family business helping people throughout the years. Thanks for being with us, JR.
Thanks for having me on, and everybody come visit sakowitzfurs.net or pop in the store.
There you go. Especially if your
you.
heater's broken, get that fur on. Just have it as a backup. Hallie Keller taking tremendous photographs. You and the team
you.
over there at Hallie Keller Photography. Hallie, before we close things down, it's time to get a new photo for you, the family, the pet, and everybody else.
Absolutely. Booking family photo sessions right now before Christmas, and then everybody needs a new branding photo. So
One of the things that strikes me here today is everyone in the studio is so photogenic. They all need. We need
we
an
could get a
update,
big
don't
group
we?
of-
We have a good-looking group.
We
They
really
all
do.
need to
Well-
file in and get some photos.
I can't speak for myself, but I mean, I'm getting by. In the meantime, Hallie, thanks for being with us
Thank
once
you,
Uh-huh.
again. Your
Bill.
website is.
HallieKeller.com.
And thank you all for listening to
Thank you.
Successful Living with Bill Napick. Today with Jenna Jackson. Once again, Jenna, here we are closing out the year. I know for a fact before the year ends, we got some special things in addition to what we're presenting here today. Just give us a little teaser.
We have some really special things.
We even
coming
have a
up.
New Year's special, kind of, sort of.
We do.
We're going to be on a location. We're not saying where yet.
Exactly. It's top secret, but we may have a little cooking going on by a very prominent restaurateur. And we also have an incredible women's network coming up. So stay tuned.
There you go. And next year, I got something I am not even going to talk about, but everyone's going to love it. Again, thanks for listening. Successful Living with Jenna and Bill. Jenna, your website again is?
prcreativegroup.com.
And oh, yeah, if you want to go to my website and see the show, the YouTube videos, and so much more, it's simply radiobill.net. You don't have to write it down. While you're driving, you can remember radiobill.net. Thanks for listening. Enjoy Thanksgiving and all the great things that happen this time of year. We'll see you next time.